You know what I've noticed about this season of Snow White with the Red Hair? Obi's getting a lot of focus. Like, he really has been getting a lot of the spotlight with this season. I mean, he hasn't been the main central point in a lot of the episodes. It's mainly been, you know, Shirayuki and being kidnapped and stuff. But I have noticed that there has been a lot of development behind the scenes with Obi, or some of his character development that's going on, and his decisions he's having to make in the future. I've noticed a lot of Season 2 has been focused on this, and this episode kind of wraps up what has been building up behind the scenes since the beginning of Season 1, actually, since Obi's introduction into the series. And what this episode really does is showcase how Obi has changed, and how he also has not changed in a way. Now, I know that's kind of, you know, it contradicts each other, but let me explain. Obi has always been a nice person. We know that, and that's the point of where he really hasn't changed. But when he first started off, before he met Shirayuki, Zen, and, you know, Kiki and Mitsuhide, he was someone that would do illegal things, you know, get money and do other things, like, you know, what he was going to do to Shirayuki, and when, you know, we first met his character. And seeing how being with this group, being with Zen, Shirayuki has changed him, it goes to show you the development he's been getting through his journey with them. And that's kind of what the main focus of this episode was, showcasing Obi making his choice to not step back into the life he once had. He cherishes the life he has been given. For instance, he no longer wants to go back into the life he was, to where he was, you know, being a crook, or, you know, doing things that were kind of shady. He wants to be with the people he cares about, and he already is a part of his very existence, his being, like his heart, with the people he's spent so much time with. And I felt like the way this episode displayed that was very beautiful, because, I mean, I thought that this episode was going to kind of enter into a new arc. For instance, Obi was going to make a choice, and he was going to leave the group, and he was going to go off, and then we're probably not going to see Obi for probably the last remainder episodes of Season 2, and he might pop up on the final episode. I thought something like that was going to happen, because, I mean, if we look at the previous episodes of Season 2, it looks like it was building up for that very moment, like Obi leaving the group and doing his own thing, but apparently not. Apparently, Snow White with red hair decided to bitch slap me. It's like, fuck you, no, we're not doing that, we're not doing that. Obi has gotten a lot of character development, he's changed, he's a changed man, and he's definitely staying with the group, and he definitely, even though he might not be with Shirayuki, he wants to stay around and be able to watch over her. It was just such a good episode, just for that. I love that, and I respect this episode just for that alone. So, yeah, it was an Obi-themed episode, and I mean, if you're a fan of Obi, if you love his character, you wanted to see the conclusion of some of his, you know, character development, you definitely are going to love this episode. It's definitely an episode meant for the Obi fans, and since I am actually an Obi fan, I like Obi as a character, and I feel sad for him because he can never be with Shirayuki, because I've talked about this, it's just not possible, since, you know, our main male character and main female character, they're in love with each other. We've already seen this emotion, romantic feelings between each other. We know for a fact Obi doesn't really have much of a chance, unless Zen somewhat dies in the future, which I'm in for a tragedy. I like tragedy, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. So Obi eventually is probably going to need to find someone else, which comes as a surprise because this episode actually answers that question I've been having. Will Obi end up alone? And it seems like the mangaka decided to figure out how to get Obi in a relationship. Apparently, there's this girl that was introduced in this episode. This girl's not really developed completely. Like, we don't know a whole lot about this character, this girl that was introduced, but we do know she has a connection with Obi. She's been spending time with him a long time. For instance, like, in the past, they used to go on jobs together, they constantly worked together, and, I mean, they got to know each other. And seeing that character introduced, it makes me feel like maybe Obi's going to find a romantic love with her. Like, he's going to probably get with her in the future, and because he knows he can't be with Shirayuki, I feel like he'll get with her, and I feel like maybe she might also join the cause of protecting Shirayuki and also protecting Zen and stuff. That'd be really cool if that's where the series is going, because that's what it looked like to me. I mean, with her being introduced, it feels like it would be a wasted potential for a character just to have her appear in this episode and just disappear. Like I said, it'd just be a waste. It'd be a waste of a character, it'd be a waste of a chance for Obi to finally find someone he might be able to fall in love with. It just is something I don't think the mangaka would waste. So, we have a future love interest for Obi. I'm happy about that. I'm glad he's not going to end up alone. So, definitely another couple points for this episode just for that alone, just seeing Obi maybe finally getting a girl. So yeah, episode, enjoyable, loved it. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.